Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football, joining you after the 2-1 victory for the U.S. men's team over Costa Rica. Just a quick note. I'm going to try to make these videos a little more, a little quicker, a little more concise. I tend to kind of rattle off a little bit and go on rants. Videos, I think 20 minutes or so don't, I'm not really sure it's really grabbing an audience or I'm getting my points across as well as I could. So I'm going to try to do a little better and make videos a little more formatted. However, I am going off no notes today, just based off of the game yesterday. Yeah, like I said, 2-1, as you all probably are aware. We started. It's not even that we really started poorly. Costa Rica got that early goal. I actually thought it was offsides. Also at the time of viewing it. And I instantly went to, no VAR. Here we go again. CONCACAF. What a mess. But Twitter. Actually, I would like to mention something. The news about Paul Areola, being substituted off right before the game started. I really, really hate that. And every fan base has it. Every sport has it. Could be the Patriots. Could be the White Sox. Chelsea, whatever. You always have fans who aren't really in it for. They don't see the big picture, or perhaps they're just there as reactions and they want to get likes or whatever it may be. That's just sort of the world of Twitter. But I thought it was pretty shameful. All the reactions, and some of them were lighthearted jokes, but a lot of them weren't. Because it would suck, I think, for a player to go through Twitter and see comments like that. A player who's doing his best for the country, and doing his role, and there's a lot of stuff we don't know. But look, I didn't like a lot of that stuff, and a couple of it were cringy. Someone would say something and they'd send a screenshot. They take a screenshot, and then post it under their comment. Oh, look, I got blocked, and it's just cringy. I used to do that a couple years ago. I used to wake up and roll over and go scrolling through Twitter looking for fights, and it's just a miserable way to start your day. And look, I just wanted to make mention of that. We should be better really and support players. You might not like Paul Areola, but comments like that really make this fan base look really bad. So I just wanted to mention that real quick before I dive into a little bit more about the game. Big change in the goalkeeping position. Zach Steffen came in. Yeah, I thought he did all right. You can't really, there's not really too much you could do on that goal. I thought it was kind of a big ask, to put him in there. And you have to say, he's at Manchester City. Manchester City's number 2. Trends alongside that brilliant squad of players and staff that are at Man City, of course, Pep Guardiola, and I don't know the ins and outs of goalkeeping coaches, but certainly Edison, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, certainly one of the best in the Premier League. Very comfortable on the ball, and you saw that with Stefan last night. He looked very confident, had a bunch of time on the ball, it seemed. I was personally a little bit worried because I thought it was more a matter of we need to win against Costa Rica, and Matt Turner really hasn't done anything wrong. So of course it came down to the manager making this decision, and perhaps Zach, perhaps Stefan did something in training, and a lot of the times I think with goalkeepers you might see changes like that, little tweaks, and maybe it's just something that he wanted to change for this game specifically. But I was a bit worried, just due to the fact that he hasn't played any of these World Cup qualifiers. Again, Matt Turner hasn't really put a foot wrong. And you have that sort of pressure over you about if you do make a mistake, then it's clear why Matt Turner had been starting these games and not Stefan. So, yeah, I was a little worried about that. But, of course, things turned out well in the end. No clean sheet, but again, not too much he could have done about saving that. Just very strange, almost lazy, you want to say, from Dest, kind of just out of bounds. And I guess the rule is the goal line then becomes offside, so it's virtually impossible to be offsides in a position like that the Costa Rican goal scorer was in. The back The back four, Chris Richards came in, which I was a little surprised by. I didn't think he would quite go in, but Miles Robinson again, a little shaky. He made that little mistake, and I think really the age was telling for that Costa Rican side pretty early on. Even 30 minutes, you saw them start to tire, and I think the average age was over 30. I want to say maybe it was 32 for that Costa Rican side, and the U.S. was maybe 22 or something like that. Again, super young side, inexperienced, but I thought Chris Richards did really, really well alongside Miles Robinson there. And other than that really, really poor pass. Um, um, that Brian Ruiz, I think that's his name. Forgive me if it's incorrect. The 36-year-old Costa Rican captain, as soon as he gave the ball away, you saw that the pace of Miles Robinson came back, recovered, won the ball back cleanly, and then helped distribute it out, which I thought was pretty impressive. But of course, a quicker player, a better team, most likely would have dispatched that, barring some miraculous save that, of course, we've seen Zach Steffen make in the past. On the wings, Anthony Robinson again. Brilliant performance from him getting forward. Serginho Dest, of course, with the goal, a great goal, left-footed strike, weak foot. Although, weak foots these days with these modern footballers is more and more, is less and less common, of course. The demand of football in this modern age is that you're just as good with the other foot, really. It was a great goal, man. The build up there was brilliant. He dispatched it comfortably, and really, we were really in the game the entire time. It kind of reminded me of how Mexico were playing against us in the Gold Cup final. We were just defending and defending and defending for the whole game, and in the end, we won that game, and I think we deserve to win this game, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, both of the wing backs, and the two center backs I thought did really well. Chris Richards, 18, you have to remember, 18 years old, playing in a World Cup qualifier. A game we had to win, a lot of pressure on him. I thought he did really well. I thought actually maybe they could have had a penalty, that tackle towards the end of the game. He did get the ball, but I thought he got a little bit of the man first. So it's tricky to say. I didn't think the referee had a very good game, to be honest. I mean, it takes too long for these referees to pull out a yellow card, and there was actually one point in the game where Greg Berhalter was, you could read his lips. In fact, you could actually hear him on the mic. You can't be scared to make a decision. I think it was just foul after foul after foul. Brendan Aronson being fouled over and over again. No yellow card, and I don't remember really when the card was. I suppose I could look it up now. Excuse me while I just do that. It just seems like, this referee, we've seen him before, of course, and just for me, not the best referee. And I'm looking through here, guys, and I don't really see a yellow card at all, as a matter of fact. I don't see a single yellow card given out. And again, I'm not trying to be biased. I thought probably the U.S. could have had one. But again, I don't see them here. So, let's get back to it. Brendan Aronson, I thought did well, moving forward to those attacking players. Aronson, Pepe, a little bit quiet today, but he's been banging form, putting the goals away, and I thought he did all right. I thought he did all right up front. Let me just jump back now, obviously to the midfield. Tyler Adams, Yunus Musa, and Weston McKennie, that midfield three. Tyler Adams showed how important he is really for this team, and I thought Musa was probably the best out of the bunch. Weston McKennie, of course, with some very, very good intricate passes, splitting the lines, but he was also a little sloppy at some points, giving the ball away a couple times and a little too much trickery here and there. I have to say, though, honestly, I thought we got pretty lucky. It was almost like the football gods were in our favor last night, man, with a lot of balls ricocheting, a little bit of bouncing back and forth. And I suppose you could put that down to just the U.S. players wanting a little more, which was pretty clear, I think. They did want it a little more. That fight was back after the loss against Panama. And that's good to see. You like to see that, of course. You want these players out there, how many people could you name that would be willing to give their blood and sweat out there to play for this country? And it was nice to see all 11 of those players out there, showing us, the fans, that they do want to be out there. And of course they want to be out there. And losing against Panama, it's not ideal. Obviously, losing any game is not ideal. It sounds silly to say, but even dropping points and a lot of expectations, of course. We didn't qualify for last World Cup, man. It still doesn't sit well with me. I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you guys out there. feel free to let me know what you think if you're still losing sleep over that 2018 World Cup and failing to qualify. I'm sure Taylor Twillman is in the same boat as all of us. Yeah, I just want to make it a little quick, not too much really to go off of. Again, I'm trying to make these videos a little shorter and not try to rant so much. So I hope it did a better job. So you guys can, of course, let me know in the comments, or if you want to hit me up on Twitter, follow me there. I'm always active on Twitter, of course, talking about the U.S. and Arsenal. So with the international break over, of course, I'll be covering Arsenal games until November when we do face Mexico. So look out for those videos if you are an Arsenal fan or just a football fan in general, fan of the U.S. Feel free to hit me up, guys. I always say this as I close every video. I'd be willing and would love to chat with any one of you. Maybe it's about Arsenal. Maybe it's about the U.S. team. Whatever it may be, open dialogue. I'm open to a discussion. So please let me know if anyone would be willing to do that. I always say this. I'm getting sick of looking at my face alone and hearing my voice. So it is what it is. Just want to say thanks very much for watching, guys. And I'll see you when I see you. See ya.